on man, was destroying his enemies with beams shooting from his hands and palms. These hands you're seeing could split even a ton-weight spaceship in half with just a small gesture. All of this might seem like magic, but this isn't magic. These are the products of Tony Stark's genius and the power of his gauntlets. Now I'm going to ask you a very simple question. What's the part that changes the least among Iron Man's armors? I can hear your answers. I bet you all said hands. Yes, that's the correct answer. Even though the hands change very little, we can say they're the part that evolved the most over time. Is Tony Stark's true genius in the arc reactor in his chest, or in the gauntlets that let him blast that reactor's energy at his enemies? Today we're going to break down what might be Marvel history's deadliest weapon system. But be careful. What you're about to learn might shock you, because these gauntlets are way more advanced than you think. Chapter 1. The beginning. The birth of repulsor technology. Now first, I'm expecting a moment of respect from you because right now, this is the ancestor of all Iron Man armors. It didn't start like this at the beginning, but let me give you some information. The shocking truth. Repulsor technology already existed before the events in the movies. Stark Industries was using this technology in the Jericho missile system. So we thought Tony's genius began in that cave, but actually the foundations were laid way before. So what exactly are these repulsors? Relax, I'm going to explain it super simply. Repulsor beams consist of compressed, charged neutron particles. But neutrons can't travel far in the air, right? How did Tony solve this? I'm not just going to say, this guy's a genius, and move on. I'm explaining it in detail, so hold tight. The armor sucks in air and sends it to a special chamber behind the palm. An electric current passes through there and creates a small amount of plasma. This plasma creates an ionized air shaft that neutrons can pass through, just like lightning. Think about it. Those blue beams coming from Tony's hands are actually controlled lightning bolts. My God, just saying this makes me want to stand in respect again. Now hold tight, I'm giving you even more interesting info. Tony, being the anxiety-ridden hero he is, actually acted on the question, what if I focus this energy? And this question changed the entire Iron Man armor journey from start to finish. But do repulsors work in just one mode? Or did Tony make different settings for every situation? And more importantly, how are these gauntlets controlled? Tony doesn't have a trigger or button in his hands. So how can he fire just by thinking? Chapter 2, Two-Faced, the dark side of repulsors. Guys, now things are getting serious, because Tony Stark's gauntlets have a dirty secret. It sounds cool when I say it like that, but I'm not saying it just to sound cool. This is actually true. How do I explain? Right away. This secret came out in Age of Ultron and Civil War. Repulsors have two different modes. One is the non-lethal mode. It just shakes and pushes back, just like when he flipped Falcon in the air and brought him down to the ground. But the other mode is deadly. It looks like a laser and can even drill through concrete. By changing the beam's concentration, he can use it like a cutting tool. Remember when Tony cut underwater power lines in New York? Yeah, that was this mode. Now think about this. Tony just needs to reach out his hand and think. 1 second he's knocking out an enemy, the next second, I don't want to say this, but it's the truth, that person is gone. And the control system? The repulsors are built using microcircuits and controlled by electronic nerve devices in Iron Man's helmet. So Tony is literally firing by thought. But wait, if Tony's carrying such powerful weapons, why wasn't there recoil? Why didn't he fly backwards when firing from his hands? This is where physics comes in, and the answer will surprise you. Since repulsors are also used for flight, the system's balance is perfectly calculated. The jet motors in his feet and the repulsors in his hands work together to keep Tony in the air. So even when attacking, the balance doesn't break. But did Tony stop there? Of course not. A genius always thinks, there's more. And with Mark 6, everything changed. Chapter 3, the game changes. Mark 6's secret. Remember Iron Man 2, that final battle? How Tony destroyed dozens of hammer drones all at once? That moment was a revolution in gauntlet technology. Mark VI brought a historic innovation. Single-use laser systems mounted on the back of each hand. And these lasers could cut through almost anything, even with the briefest contact. But we said, single-use, right? Why was that? Because these lasers were so powerful, they had to use a cartridge system. You'd use it once, the cartridge would run out and pop out from the back. It wasn't unlimited, but all you needed was one cut anyway. And Mark VI's repulsors? Thanks to the new arc reactor, they were way more powerful than all previous models. So much so that they could deliver a blow powerful enough to temporarily knock out Thor. Yes, you heard that right. The power to knock out an Asgardian god in Tony's palms. But Tony didn't stop here. The single-use system didn't satisfy him. One day, running out of cartridges in the middle of battle could kill him. And right here, Mark VII entered the scene. Chapter 4. The Avengers Weapon. Mark VII's Arsenal of Terror. A portal opened in New York. The Chitauri army is raining down, and Tony Stark. Right at that moment, he's putting on Mark VII. This armor was a war machine. Its gauntlets? A weapons depot. Mark VII had a ring of micro-munition missiles in each gauntlet. These small missiles could be fired at enemies, embed themselves in a surface. Then, boom, they'd explode. But what was really fascinating was this. Mark VII had rechargeable lasers. The single-use cartridge system was left behind. Lasers powered by the arc reactor that you could use as much as you wanted. You know what Tony did with these lasers in that battle? He cleared out Chitauri soldiers in seconds. He went inside a Leviathan and blew that massive creature apart from the inside out with his lasers. Mark VII was so durable, it stayed standing despite heavy battle damage. The powerful thruster on its back freed up Tony's hands, meaning he could fire at enemies with both hands, even while flying at full speed. This armor proved to Tony that he was the Avengers' most powerful member. But Tony Stark was never a man who settled. One midnight, working in his workshop, a thought came to him. What if the gauntlets weren't just a tool, but a transformation system? What if I could create everything I needed instantly? And that night, he met nanotechnology. But this story isn't that simple. This story became possible after about 35 different armor attempts. And in the end, he created the most advanced gauntlet the universe had ever seen. I couldn't fit Iron Man's most advanced glove into this video. Honestly, I didn't want to rush through it because it's such an interesting topic. That's why I'll be making part 2 of this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss part 2. Making a video like this takes me hours, sometimes even days. So if you'd like to support my work, don't forget to hit the like button and tell me in the comments which Iron Man suit is your favorite.